So I'm going to show you how I do rabbit skins. So these are my rabbit skins. They're in their first brine. This brine is made up of salt and battery acid. I use 1 3/4 cups of salt and 4 ounces of battery acid to 2 gallons of water in the first brine. What I'm going to do right now is that I need to flush them out. So they've been sitting in this since Monday morning, which is a little longer than I normally have it. Normally it's only about 2 days. I'm trying to drain off as much of the liquid because I'm going to reuse this brine and add some more salt and battery acid for the second part of the tanning. There's rabbit hides, and I'm going to get ready to rinse them in some water just so I'm not overwhelmed by any weird smells. And it just makes it a little easier to handle, and I can wash off some extra dirt. In my second brine, I use 1 3/4 cups of salt, same as the first time, and 4 ounces of battery acid, same as the first time, but I don't add any extra water. So there's my rabbit hides. They're all rinsed off. I have my table set up, my bag for the scraps. I'll put the rabbit hides in there after I'm done flushing them, and those are the only tools I use. So this is my first hide that I'm going to start working with. There's the legs, front legs, where the neck was, where the back is, body, belly. I'm going to turn it inside out. And then you're just going to peel this away. I don't clean it after it's just been butchered off the rabbit. I just make sure it's cold before I put it in the first brine. I just rinse it and rinse it. Let it sit in some cold water. It has to be cool, room temperature. I like it to get a little bit below room temperature before I put it in the brine. Some of this will clean off a little bit easier than other parts. Depends on how tight Tim got it skinned when he was butchering the rabbits. I have found that these plastic gloves work best for skinning. I have tried everything. Just plastic gloves, normal gloves, because you can dry them off. They don't soak up moisture. These are, I believe they're 12 to 16 week old Rexes. They might be a little older than that, might be a little younger. For pieces like that, I don't want to pull it. It'll just tear the skin. That's what the knife is for. That's usually where the teats are at. On adult does, those are even harder to get off. As you can see, that membrane just comes off really nicely after sitting in that brine. I can go through, find the pieces that didn't pull off. Usually where the teats are at. And then up where we dispatch them can be really tough. At the back of the neck, because we hit them over the back of the head and break the cervical spine. So sometimes there's a lot of blood leached into the skin. And that skin is pretty tough anyways. You want to be careful using one of these on a young hide. It'll tear it. Not that it's sharp, but you can put too much pressure on it and just dig right in and tear the hide. I like doing it on a towel. Towel helps soak up the excess moisture. Makes the hide a little easier to work with. It's not sliding all over the place. Although by the end, it's not as absorbent anymore unless I change it out, the towel. I'm not too particular about the edges. Usually it's what goes away and I throw in the trash. But I like to keep as much of it as I can, because then when I'm stretching it, if it tears there at those edges, it's no big loss to me. This guy is really nice. This guy's flushing out really nice. They were in the brine, as I said, longer than I normally leave them. So normally I can't do anything with that, and I would cut it off. I'm just going to leave it on this time. I don't worry too much about the legs, where the legs were. Those usually end up getting cut off. Depends on how the hide works out. Got a little bit right there. And of course I want as much of the hide as possible. So there's the neck and the legs and the belly. So you can see there's a seam that I don't know if you can see it. You can see like a light seam that goes through here on a rabbit hide. And it is there naturally. It's really weird, but it's there. Unless I have holes, I try and go up that seam. So I've got a big usable piece of skin here of Rex hide. So welcome back. This is part 2. I'm spent about a week. They have been sitting here in their brine. I've been stirring them up every day. Sorry, there you go. So now I'm getting ready to rinse them off, wash them, and then we'll start stringing them up to dry. Got their first rinse down. I put some soap on them, and I'm just gonna push them around and wash them. Get them all kind of soapy. I want to get all that smell and junk out of it from the battery acid and the salt. It also makes my skin feel nicer, and the hair feels really wonderful after. I just use regular palm olive. Use any kind of degreaser. Help break this all apart. And then I find that gets a lot of loose hair off as well. Now I'm going to rinse them each individually, so I need 2 hands for that. So now they're rinsed, one washed, and this is one of the hard ones I've done. And you see, still got some stuff left to peel off. I'll probably do that as I'm stretching it. It'll come up looser. When I lay them down, I want to center them all around this bucket for the first night. Catch all my little drips. So laying down, they're just going to drip into my bucket and on my towel. I'll do that for the first day. Then after that I'll be able to start stretching them. I might even be able to start stretching them a bit tomorrow. So here are the pelts. There was 5 of them. I had this pretty try, a couple of Harleys, and I think that's an otter. I think they're both otters. I'm not positive. When you stretch them, there's still some stuff on here I can scrape off later. This is one of the nicer ones. It's got a really nice, smooth feel to it. And I don't know, it's only been like 2 days, and I've got them all stretched. I stayed on top of it this time. I'm trying to see if there's a spot on one of these that I can show. On here, this is where it got peeled off too close to the fur, so this will be all unusable, and because it would just tear. It won't be very good. Oh, here, I can show you that one. Let's see if I can prop this up here. So when you pull it, you see that black skin? When you stretch it, it should all stretch out. It's called breaking. You're breaking the skin. Oop. Excuse me. Because that one is just so loose down through there. See that's hair underneath there, so there isn't a lot of skin there. And it's very, very thin, where you just start to skin them, and then it starts to get a little thicker. If you rip them off too fast, you can get that pulled. That'll pull as well. But I just wanted to show you how the skin breaks. There. Another process after you've finished hand stretching them is to use like a corner of a table like this, and use 2 hands and just grab it on either end and just seesaw it back and forth, and it really helps break the hide up a little bit more, makes them really nice, loose and pliable. As I said, these skins have only been drying for 2 days. I haven't even started brushing the hair yet. The hair still has to be brushed because they were molting a little bit, and there's always going to be some loose hair. But this is one of my older rabbits. They have their skin is a lot thicker. You can see it doesn't crunch as well. It doesn't crinkle. So that's a thicker skin. And I've got a lot of nice pelts. This one's still really damp through there, and I'll have to break that one too. And I still have some stuff to peel off later. I can just take a piece of sandpaper or a sander and take that off. I can leave it. If it dries without you stretching it, it turns into this hard stuff. I've got a bunch of it over there. But you just get it wet again. You don't have to get the fur wet, you just need to get the skin wet and work that water in, and then you'll be able to stretch it out as it's drying. That's what I'll do with all those. So, it's nice thick. So that's how I do my rabbits. I hope you enjoy it, and thanks for watching.